elk, bear, antelope and turkey, there has always been plenty of fine game to hunt in New Mexico, but not without limitation. Feral pigs, on the other hand, can be hunted without a license year-round with any legal sporting weapon. In fact, there's no restriction on the number of feral pigs you can hunt and kill in New Mexico. Otero County pig trapper Lewis Reeves says that's the reason hunters started trying to build up a feral pig hunting population in the state.
They all want to shoot a big pig. They want that head off there with the big tushies to take home and mount or whatever. A lot of them want to shoot one to eat.
40 or so years since they started being released into the wild, the feral pig population has swelled to the point that in places like Otero County, the animals threaten critical wildlife, native plants, and put livestock at risk of serious diseases and infection.
But the big thing in this country is the diseases they carry that transmit to the cattle, the deer, and the elk.
But given the lack of state limits on hunting feral pigs, why hasn't the feral pig problem taken care of itself? Otero County pig trapper Lewis Reeves says hunting is actually making the problem worse. He says firing into groups of pigs splits them up and makes them even harder to find and trap.
If you shoot into these pigs, they move, and they'll move a long ways, and they'll do it overnight. So it helps me if people will just report them, so I can go in and start setting up trail cams and seeing what I can possibly do. Trapping takes out more pigs than hunting does.
When it comes to hunting, Otero County has some of the best game the state has to offer, and hunters take advantage of it 9 months out of the year. But Otero County Cattle Ranchers Association President Gary Stone says he wants New Mexico Game and Fish to change the lengths of the hunting seasons so the county can have more time to get a handle on the feral pig problem.
We need some more cooperation from the Game and Fish, maybe to give us a bigger window there to where these pigs can bunch back up.
The same serious and even deadly diseases that can be transmitted to livestock are also transmittable to game and wildlife. As a result, Stone says New Mexico Game and Fish should be funding eradication programs in the area.
Not only do they have the potential to hurt their revenues and their interest out here, I think they have a responsibility to do so.
Mark Madsen is the New Mexico Game and Fish Southeast Regional spokesperson. He says they've partnered with the USDA and Wildlife Services and provided funding to combat the feral pig in years prior.
The biggest thing, the reason it's tapered off is because Wildlife Services has been very successful as far as their aerial gunning efforts. They've killed, I think the last number I saw was between 700 to 800 feral hogs, which has really knocked them back quite a bit.
The USDA has continued that program. But pig trapper Lewis Reeves says the USDA's eradication techniques haven't done a lot to cull the feral pig population in Otero County.
They do fly their helicopter every once in a while, but in these high mountains and with as much brush and timber we got, helicopters don't work real good.
Though game are almost as susceptible as livestock to serious diseases spread by feral pigs, the damage and liability of an outbreak would weigh far more heavily on the livestock industry. New Mexico Game and Fish spokesperson Mark Madsen says although the diseases are a concern, the feral pigs don't fall under his agency's jurisdiction.
As long as the meat's properly cooked and stuff like that, then there's very little risk of any diseases being transmitted to humans.
Pig trapper Reeves says Otero County is one of the hardest hit in the state, and he says they will need grants and other funding to continue eradicating feral pigs. For KRWG, I'm Simon Thompson.